In 1981, Casio engineer Kikuo Ibe dropped a mechanical watch given by his father. It hit the ground and shattered into pieces. To most, this was an unfortunate accident. To Ibe, it was the start of an obsession with a single question: why does a watch have to be fragile? He spent the next 2 years attempting to build a timepiece that simply could not break. We usually focus on the traditional world of springs and gears, but this quartz-powered digital watch represents one of the most significant engineering pivots in the history of timekeeping. Solving that single moment of impact on the pavement eventually established a new standard for durability that the industry had never previously measured. In the early 80s, digital watches were accurate and affordable, but notoriously delicate. A drop from a desk was often enough to crack a circuit or kill the display. eBay formed a small group called Project Team Tough to challenge this vulnerability. They set a benchmark called the 1010. The watch had to survive a 10-meter fall onto a hard floor, withstand 10 atmospheres of water pressure, and run for 10 years on a single battery. The team's initial prototypes relied on external armor. They made the cases thicker and more rigid, but the shock of a 3-story drop from a bathroom window simply passed through the metal and broke the internals. Over 200 prototypes failed because they were too stiff. The solution came from watching a child bounce a rubber ball in a park. eBay noticed that while the exterior of the ball deformed to absorb the impact, the very center remained isolated from the shock. This observation led to the floating module. Instead of bolting the quartz movement to the case, eBay suspended it. By supporting the core at only a few cushioned points within a hollow structure, the outer case takes the impact, while the module stays still. This architecture debuted in April 1983 as the DW-5000C. While a later model, the DW-5200C, became famous in a 1984 commercial as an ice hockey puck, the DW-5000C remains the original model that proved the concept. This shift from rigid armor to cushioned suspension became the blueprint for durable watches. This diagram maps the DW-5000C's layered defense. A protruding resin bezel absorbs initial drops. Beneath it, a stainless steel core provides structural rigidity. At the center, the timekeeping module floats within a hollow shock absorber. Even the buttons are deeply recessed. The watch's endurance is a function of this interdependent system, where every external surface absorbs energy before it can reach the module. The DW-5000C was not an immediate success. In 1983, the Japanese market favored slim dress watches. eBay's bulky, square design was a sharp departure from those trends and initially struggled to find an audience. The brand found its footing in the United States, first with blue-collar workers and then within skate and hip-hop subcultures. For these groups, a watch that could survive a fall or a concrete impact became a tool for their specific environments. By prioritizing utility over the era's design trends, Casio created a silhouette that became a standard in subcultures, where gear was expected to survive punishment. Module 240 is straightforward. It tracks time, sets alarms, and runs a stopwatch. As a quartz movement, it maintains high accuracy without the need for periodic winding. For collectors, original 1983 examples are valuable, but the age of the materials matters. 40-year-old resin is prone to cracking, and original gaskets no longer provide a reliable seal against water. Enthusiasts looking for a daily wearer typically look to modern squares, like the resin DW-5600 or the Japan-made GW-5000, which retains the steel screwback feel of the original. Ibe's work resulted in a tool adopted with equal frequency by those working in construction, by law enforcement, and in low Earth orbit. Is a G-Shock a real watch to you? Does its battery-powered heart disqualify it compared to traditional mechanical pieces? Or do the facts of its engineering earn it a place in your collection? Tell us in the comments if you would take a fragile 1983 original or a modern reissue you can actually use. Subscribe to Crown Patina for more watch histories. We'll see you next week. Until then, keep winding, even if for this one, there's nothing to wind.